Hello, beautiful light beings. Shannon O'Flaherty here. I'm a spiritual coach and mentor and the creator of this beautiful group, Releasing the Wounded Healer. And today I'm talking about healing your ancestral lines. This has come up a few times in the group, and it is extremely important work. And people often wonder, well, how can we do that? How can we heal the ancestral line? And what does that even mean? First of all, we hold at least 7 generations of cellular memory inside of us, which is a pretty terrifying thought, considering it's hard enough just to live with our own belief systems, let alone holding on to what Granny was feeling too. So, whenever you decide to step up and start to do your personal work and break the chain and the cycle of your family, in effect, you are already healing your ancestral line. Most families have a familial base response level. So, thinking back, my great grandmother, I think that she probably had the gift. I know she has had the gift. She's also been a spirit, one of my spirit guides that have spoken to me in this lifetime, and other psychic people have tapped into her. And in her day, she didn't really know what to do with the gift. And so she's worked sort of through me. And this can happen a lot in your family lines. If somebody further back in the line was perhaps a healer, this kind of energy or knowing might be passed down to you. But also what can be passed down is belief systems from past generations. I mean, that's where people learned about prejudice, because they had the fear of God in them instead of understanding that God was a joyous, beautiful energy of light and love. Okay, there was a different perception back then. My grandmother buried, I think, 7 of her babies that all died from starvation because she was breastfeeding and couldn't produce enough breast milk, but they didn't know about that back then. Now, to lose 7 babies in a row is a pretty tragic thing, and that would definitely add to a lot of her sadness and depression, which then gets passed down the familial line. So one of the familial bases in my family is sadness. I've had a lot of sadness in this lifetime that I could never really even understand or justify, if you have to even justify an emotion. I just thought, okay, there's some stuff that's gone down, but not enough to feel this level of sadness. And when I really started to do the work, I cleared a lot of this stuff and started to change and heal that. I've had clients who've come to me feeling like they had all of the addictive qualities of being an alcoholic when they hadn't actually ever had alcohol. And I asked if their parents had had alcohol. No, they were complete teetotalers also. And I said, well, who in your family drank alcohol? Oh, well, my grandfather was, and so it gets passed down. There's reports of people who were prisoner of war camps because they were in survival mode, even though they were being tortured and they were victims. They weren't in victim and suffering mode, they were in survival mode. And so sometimes it skips a generation and it's passed down so that the grandchildren then have this life of holding the suffering for the grandparent that was just trying to survive, because survival mode is very different than suffering mode. So it's really interesting how these genetic emotions and beliefs are passed down the family line. And the minute you start to really look at the roots of your belief systems and take responsibility for your own beliefs, even if they're not actually yours, they could be your parents, they could be your grandparents, they could go back to past lives, but we have to start with how they affect us in this life. Because when things reappear or keep manifesting, that's because they want to be cleared. Hey Sheila, hey Stacy. So they want to be cleared. We don't want to keep holding on to all of this past stuff. It doesn't matter what's happened before. What matters is how it's affecting you in this lifetime. And if you know anything or can get any kind of family history, get as much as you possibly can while your parents and grandparents are alive, because you can look and see the patterns of what was going on, because often cycles repeat themselves and family patterns repeat themselves. Hey Kim, thanks for joining. So looking at your family line is really important, and it's up to you. If you're a healer and you're aware, part of your wounding is because you're holding on to this past familial cyclical drama that you don't need to hold on to anymore. And this is the work that I do. I practice shamanism, and I can hear what people are telling me and also what they're not telling me. And we look at the belief systems that you're holding at a subconscious level so that we can clear that, so that we can access your ancestors and find out what is being passed down, so that some of the stuff that you're feeling might not even be yours. So why would you still be holding on to that? It's there so that we can heal the cycle of this. Break the chain of whatever drama has been going on in your family, in your ancestry for years and years and years. Sometimes there's a curse from many years ago that can also be fixed and broken, but you need to identify the roots of these things. And the roots of them are going to be identified by looking at how things are manifesting in your life right now, because you're the living proof of what's come before you. So you need to start clearing that stuff. If this interests you, and if you'd like to stop being the wounded healer and be the healed healer, I would really love for you to work with me. And I have a wonderful course that deals with just this sort of thing, getting rid of all of these beliefs that are blocking us and holding us back from reaching our highest potential, because we understand how all of this works, but sometimes we need a mentor or a guide to help us see the invisible so that we can clear it and heal. Thank you, Stacy. A little bit of a fan club going there. Right back at you. So I really look forward to hearing from you. Private message me. Let's have a chat and step up. I want you to take 100% responsibility for yourself and your life. Now is the time. Why would we walk around one more day feeling wounded, suffering, struggling to live, when we can actually be completely happy, be our authentic selves, be joyful every moment of every day, wake up feeling inspired and wonderful? Doesn't that sound better than holding on to all of the drama of the past, stuff that we might not even know that we're still holding? I would love to work with you, and I really look forward to hearing from you. So much love to you all, and I'll see you in the next video.